Hello, everyone. Thank you all so very much for joining us again today. We are recapping Interview with the Vampire, Season 2, Episode 6. Before we get started, yeah, I know you like to kind of run down titles. Can you tell us about today's title?
All right, guys, this one is a mouthful, no pun intended. Like the light by which God made the world before he made light. So, in this particular episode, it comes directly from a quote that Santiago is using during his monologue. And he keeps talking about like ticking and talking like as time is going on. So, for me, this title kind of speaks to having some sort of epiphany, and that's as far as I can go. I'm gonna keep it real surface level because this one was a doozy. There was a lot happening in this episode, even to the point of creation. So, light, epiphany, creation, all those things.
All right. So, in this episode, Armand's shocking betrayal of Louis and Claudia to Lestat will leave you speechless. Find out the jaw dropping reason behind his actions as we recap this particular episode. Vampire enthusiasts, today we're diving into the dramatic world of Vampire Chronicles to unravel a shocking betrayal. Why would Armand betray Louis and Claudia to Lestat? Let's sink our teeth into this juicy vampire drama. Before we get into the nitty gritty, let's set the stage. Our main players are Armand, a centuries-old vampire with a mysterious aura; Louis, a brooding immortal struggling with his existence; Claudia, a cunning child vampire, actually trapped in a woman's body, in a child's body, actually; and Lestat, a charismatic yet ruthless vampire leader. These characters are bound by blood and history in the enigmatic world of Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. The problem: Louis wants an existence void of vampires ruling him. Claudia, seeing the end of her companionship with Louis, seeks another companion. Armand seeks the dominance of a great love that he hopes to find in Louis. All right. Now, first question. Let's start with Bearer of Men. What is today's episode all about, in your opinion?
Betrayal. My favorite word.
Expound on
Every,
that for us.
everyone is betraying everyone. It's a melee. Everybody's just turning their backs on each other, and it kind of made me sad.
Brittany?
So I agree with Bear Men, betrayal, but also independence and self-discovery, I think is also something that I saw within it. So self-discovery with Louis being more dominant and being one within himself and knowing what he wants and how he wants it, as well as Claudia going and finding her potential partner and wanting to set off on her own. Armand still wanting to have that love, but also betraying Louis and Claudia and Madeline. And then, Santiago doing what Santiago do.
Hater.
Hell yeah. What is this episode all about?
To me, this episode, I have to agree with Bear of Men, is definitely about betrayal. You see a lot of duplicitous things happening in this episode. And you also have, like Brittany said, Louis coming into his own. So there's that self-discovery piece as well. So it's quite a journey. And then you get a lot of French commingled into this episode, which I absolutely love the language piece because, oh God, it's such a beautiful language. And nothing like getting betrayed in French. A French white betrayal.
All
Everybody
right.
know how to say it in French.
All right. At the beginning of the episode, Daniel wants to know from Rashid how he got the tapes. Considering there was no postage, Rashid has been assigned to watch Daniel as he eats at a local restaurant. Daniel says he normally gives his mailman a little something for Christmas. Question: a little something. Considering what we learned in the last episode, what does he mean? Brittany?
I think he means like a Christmas present. He give him a little money on the side. Tell him thank you for everything you're doing.
I'm trying to be funny, but I guess not.
Oh, a little dick.
Little something, something.
Maybe he shouldn't give him no dick anymore. He Talamascus.
That's
All
what I
right.
thought too. So I was like, wait, Rashid is Talamasca?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Rashid Talamascus. And his postman might be Talamascus too. All the
Well,
people watching them.
well,
Seemed like they weaved all in there.
well,
Hmm.
people in the Talamasca have gifts too. So it's quite possible that someone in the Talamasca used their gift to get the postman or whatever you want to call them to do something that they wanted or needed them to do.
Hmm.
All right, next question, real question. Rashid refuses to respond to Daniel's question, but excuses himself to go to the bathroom. Then Raglan James enters and offers that perhaps Rashid has worked or is working for the Talamasca. As Louis and Armand attempt to decide the decor of their apartment, it is quite clear Louis is pissed and Armand is pushing it aside. Let's get into the psyche of these two questions. Why doesn't Louis bring it up, meaning the fact that he's upset? Also, why doesn't Armand address it? Let's go to Elia.
Louis is definitely passive aggressive, the poster child for it. And so Louis is so layered. I think he's enjoying sitting in his anger. I really think he enjoys it. And as far as Armand not addressing it, we can continue to do this dance all day long. At the end of the day, he comes off as a little bit passive, but Armand is something else. I am choosing to ignore you. We're gonna keep it moving. You want to be passive aggressive? Okay, we're gonna do this dance. You'll let me know when you want to talk.
Bearer of men.
I like Louis. I feel like I have to preface my statement by saying that first because among us are people who feel I am a massive Louis hater. I do not
Name
hate.
them.
Hell yeah, Jermaine. You know what, Brittany? I can't say your name because you ain't said nothing. Corey, I don't know where he at. But am I partial to Armand? Yes. I think that Louis is doing the same thing that he used to do when he was with Lestat. As soon as he feels wronged, he becomes the baby. And like, think about it. Think how old Armand is. Then how young, in retrospect, Louis is to him. He's having a tantrum. I mean, he knows he doesn't know what's really going on. He knows that. He knows his big asks of Armand that nobody else knows about. You know what I mean? But instead of just saying something, he's gonna stew about it. He's gonna throw that little tantrum, and I think it's the age difference between them. And I think that that's why Armand is like moving on.
You still think
Brittany, your thought?
fledgling.
I
Not doing
agree with
it.
Elia and Bearer Men. So Louis is super passive aggressive, having a temper tantrum. On top of that, Armand is 500 years old and does not give a fuck. He's like, whatever. I've been there, done that, seen that. You gonna get over it and give me that dick later on, so it's fine.
And what color drapes you want? What color do you want the drapes?
Might
Exactly.
just might help the D out tonight. Get all that rage. Take it out on me, baby. I ain't never been with somebody I've been in a long term relationship with, and when one of them get mad, you be sitting there acting like you don't know what's going on.
Yup.
Because you like until they use their words, I'm not gonna do this.
Until you use your put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt.
Until you
Use your
use
words.
your
Words
words,
mean
I don't know
things.
what's going on.
Okay.
I can read your mind, but I don't care.
But I don't care. But I don't care. Especially when you deal with somebody so long and they done did so much stuff. Think about all the stuff he probably has done. I'm not about to play with Louis. As much as he's cleaned up behind Louis. Come on now.
All right. Next, Daniel continues to press Raglan about the Talamasca. Finally, Daniel asks if the Talamasca can protect him. Raglan says no, the Talamasca isn't good at doing that. Question. Upon hearing that, what use is the Talamasca to Daniel if they can't save his life? Let's go to
No.
Brittany.
They really are of no value to him because they cannot save his life. The only thing the Talamascus can do is get his book published. Is basically what he was saying. He was like, look, we can't save you. We can't protect you. Rashid is just there to watch you, but he not gonna step in and help you out. Okay,
Very
just so
true.
you know. Rashid is here for the hand soap. He not here for nothing else. All right.
I said whoever dispensing their hand so must be fine in the morning.
Okay.
I said 'cause when he said he liked the hand soap, I was like, he getting bent over back there or something. It's soap.
He gonna be there a while.
Wait. Wait. I can't. That's a different discussion. Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I mean, am I off a little bit? I don't think I'm off. I
No.
feel
What I was thinking is that everybody on this show is supposed to be about him. I don't know if I want to watch this show. Everybody's about him. But hell yeah.
they killed the one top.
They killed him. They killed him dead. Listen, it's the at will interview for me. Like, okay, look, you signed up for this. We can help you get your little book or tape out or whatever, but we can't protect you. So I think it is absolutely ironic that you have this whole group, Talamasca, that is serving a purpose of what exactly? If you can't help save me, why are we having these private meetings? Why? Why? So just seeing how the Talamasca kind of worked from, dare I say it, Mayfair witches, as we transition back into interview, it's like, okay, Talamasca, what do y'all have going on? I don't understand. So I really giggled whenever he outright asked, can you help me stay alive? And they were like, yeah, no, we can't do that. The best we can do is just make sure, you get your little book out or whatever. And yeah, basically you're at will.
About the only thing the Telemastic can help him with is basically provide information, context, more pictures, evidence that he could possibly use for his book, which might or might not get published. All right, next question. Raglan tells Daniel that he fears Armand, but no, hold on, wait a minute, I missed one. Daniel says that he wants to get out alive. Raglan reminds him that he really wants a book. Daniel confesses that he wants both. Understanding the power of these immortals, what could Daniel truly hope for? Let's go to Bearer of Men first.
You mean once he publishes his book and stays alive?
Do you think he's going to remain alive?
I don't think he's going to survive it. I think he pushes too hard. I think he pushes way too hard, but I think that he's still that guy that Louis met when he decided to write the first story. He wants not infamy. He wants to be famous. He wants to be like a great author. He wants to be respected. Like, what writer doesn't? He's still chasing that.
I think if he gets it out there, that will make him immortal.
Ooh, that's deep.
Seriously.
I like that.
Brittany, thoughts?
I agree. I think that he is going to die. And I do think he is going to die. And I do think his book is going to come out, though. And I think when his book comes out, they're going to come after him. And the Talamascus can't help him. So the only way he is going to be okay is to be the undead.
Okay. So Raglan tells Daniel that he fears Armand, but that he should really fear the other one meaning Louis. This is interesting. In the books, Anne Rice went to great pains to show that Louis was a particularly weak vampire, far weaker than most of the other fledglings Lestat had created. Question: why should Daniel fear Louis over Armand? Let's go to Brittany first.
Because he's unstable. At the end of the day, Louis is a great character, but he is very unstable. And if you ask the wrong question, if you ask the right question in the wrong way, he's going to react in a way that is going to be dangerous for anybody that is not immortal.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Louis is a ticking time bomb. And so he's more dangerous because he comes off as approachable, as kind, as docile. However, Louis got demons. And they far exceed his vampiric existence. He had them before in his human life. So to me, Louis is particularly dangerous. He is literally a ticking time bomb.
Bearer of men.
I think that hold on.
Awkward silence.
I had to close my door. I think that I think you go pluck a man from the 20s, a black man from the 20s, who also had been harboring a secret that he's also, you know, at the time he was bisexual. Um, living and who loses watches all his family go, and then he's still watching, living through racism, like undervalued in his talents. Yeah, he got problems. And I think that's what makes him that's what's so cool about the fact that they made Louis black from the 20s. You know what I'm saying? And setting that time frame where everything was stacked up against him to probably better explain his like woe is me struggle. To be honest with you, I don't think that he was ever set up successfully to be a vampire. And then I also, to go deeper, I think that Lestat has made weak ones before, and then other people. It just seems like they all make themselves all over again. He went made Claudia. You know, he's impulsive, and she's impulsive. The woman that they created, impulsive. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Okay. All right. So for me, for my money, well, I want to talk about it a little bit later. All right. So at best, the Talamasker can help Daniel find a publisher who will actually print the book, whereas his publisher will only pay him, but it will be buried. It will be buried. The book will be buried. Raglan says everything will come out soon enough. The Talamasker believes it will be better that it comes out in a publication than government's question. The Talamasker, up until now, has tried to work in the shadows, even keeping the existence of supernaturals hidden. Why now does the Talamasker want their existence known, meaning the supernatural? The supernatural. Why now do they want their existence known? Let's go to L. Yeah, first.
So I'm not entirely sure if I know why they would want to come out of the shadows now, other than clearly the evolving of time and everything is accessible. So it's kind of hard to stay hidden with the world that we're in now. So better us throw ourselves on the blade and expose ourselves rather than we come out on social media or something like that. So I can't think of any other reasons personally why they would want to do it now.
Barrowman.
Their numbers have grown.
The numbers of vampires from 900 to what do you say, 1600?
Yeah, and counting,
Mm-hmm.
which means if they weren't making it like that before, why are you all of a sudden expanding so much now? You know, like what's to come?
You think there's some
Some-
type of war coming?
There's something that the Talamascus knows about, and they're like, man, we're gonna expose them, and we have to because people need to know they're out here. Because I think there's a sense of urgency to reveal what they got going on in some shape or form to whomever needs to know.
Brittany.
I agree with Bear Men. I think that it's a numbers thing, and I look at it kind of like the way True Blood was. So they're coming out. We're gonna make it mainstream to be a vampire now because it's so many of y'all. So it's time to come out. It's time to show who you are. It's time. Y'all been hiding too long. Now it's time to come out.
So we all watched Mayfair Witches, right? And I know we don't like to talk about Mayfair Witches because it was horrible.
Awful.
Okay. But when I think about Mayfair Witches, I think about the fact that if it wasn't the last episode, it was the second to last episode where we basically saw the Talamasca were they were kind of like pulling strings, right? And they kind of knew what was happening. They knew what the prophecies were. They had a hunch as to where things would happen, all the other good stuff. When I think about that, when I think about what's happening in this particular show, I think that going along what we learned in Mayfair Witches, I think that there's a power struggle within the Talamasca, and you have some people within the Talamasca who are trying to control powers all on their own. And so if the whole world knows about powers, then they would be free to use their own powers as well. That's just the way that I'm thinking. I have absolutely no proof, no evidence of that. That's just the way that I'm thinking. Okay. All right. Next question. When Rashid returns, Raglan informs him that Daniel would like to stay alive. Rashid responds by saying, then perhaps he should have thrown those tapes away when he found them in the mailbox. Question. This goes to Bearer of Men first. What was Rashid communicating in that exchange?
When he said he should have thrown them away, who said that?
Rashid said that.
He said that to whom?
He was responding to Raglan James about Daniel.
Oh, I think he was trying to say that he can't trust Daniel. Like, Daniel's gonna get us killed. Get me killed.
No. So he's talking about Daniel, like, because Daniel was saying, hey, he wants to stay alive. He's telling that to Raglan, and then Rashid chimes in like, hey, well, you should have threw those tapes away when you got them in the mail about Daniel.
Oh, he's saying like, you're not gonna stay alive. You're not gonna make it through this. You're not gonna make it through this. I didn't understand that exchange.
Okay. All right. So if that is the case, why then does Daniel still continue to interview these two vampires? Brittany.
At this point, he's invested and he's too deep in, and he wants to finish the book and he wants to finish the ending.
Okay. So that's his biggest motivator.
Yes, because he started it in the 70s, right?
Uh-huh.
He started in the 70s and he didn't get to finish it. And Daniel seems like the type of man that once he sets his mind to something, he wants to get it done. And it's hard to think about it in a way of not finishing something that he started, and he has to finish it. He has to get to the end.
He's willing to take the risk. I mean, he may want to get out of this alive, but at the same time, let's not forget Daniel's days are numbered. He's already sick. So it's like at this point, like you guys said, he's invested the time. What do I really have to lose? Like, yeah, I want to stay alive and all of that, but the risk is worth it. I still want to pursue this. This is my baby. He's an artist.
And he's sensitive about it. I'm sorry.
I think he also wants to become a vampire. He's holding out hope.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. So, Elia, do you want to tell us about the scene where Armand is, he's playing the director and he's watching Santiago in the play and everything that happens, and then what's actually happening that I was about to say, Rashid, that Armand doesn't know about?
So that whole exchange was a lot to me. So that how they played it out, it was just so beautiful. Like, okay, we're able to read minds. We know that. So Armand is thinking he's keeping Santiago busy by nailing him to the stage and basically kissing his behind, like, oh, you're doing so great and all of these things. So he can keep an eye on him. All the while, basically, Santiago has his minions out doing his dirty work, trying to find out, okay, where is Lestat? When was the last time anyone heard from him? In the meanwhile, he's doing a whole fucking monologue. Okay, genius as an actor. Okay, so we know within the show, he's this apex predator, so they have all these powers. But as an actor, to be able to pull that off the way that he did was absolutely beautiful to watch. So Matra thinks that he has one up on Santiago, but Santiago is 15 steps ahead and delivers a beautiful monologue.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when the two vampires actually talk to the, I don't know if it's an accountant or a lawyer or whatever it is, Roger, right? When they talked to Roger, how long had it been since the last time? Do y'all remember in this episode? How long had it been since Roger had actually talked to Lestat?
Early February
1940.
1940.
All right. And so I know that World War II ended in 45. We've learned that it's been at least a year, maybe even 2 years. So we're talking about 6, 7 years, possibly 6 or 7 years that Roger has heard from Lestat. All right. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind. Daniel then asked the question of the hour. Why hadn't Armand read their minds? Armand said it was because he was in love. Louis said Armand had become lazy. What
Mm.
are we? What are we to believe?
I
Let's
think it's a
go.
little bit of both.
Explain.
I think that Armand was really in love with Louis, or what he thinks is love, which I feel like is more infatuation and control. But at the same time, he also was lazy because he was tired of being maitre and he was over it. All he wanted to do was be in the bed with Louis and get dick down and read books and go to the cafe and smoke their cigs and drink their coffee. Okay?
Face
He was
down in the casket, ass up.
face down, ass up in a casket. That's all he wanted to
Cry,
do.
baby.
Okay? He was tired of this damn coven shit. Okay? He was tired of Santiago, Sam, and all they bullshit and all this complaining and all this whining. All he wanted to do was be with his man.
Merriman.
I'm denouncing being a coven leader for you, Louis.
First of all, he did it for Lestat. I
Mm,
think he's been looking for, like, as long as he's been in power, how long has he wanted it?
never.
Not never, not once.
He hasn't wanted to be in control of
Miserable.
people. They don't listen.
Yeah.
He has to manage a whole coven. He always
Ooh,
got to keep an eye on them. He
sound
always
like
got,
teaching.
well, being a, or even probably being a principal. How many grown ups you know don't listen? Don't call out on Monday. 5 people called out. These motherfuckers don't listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I am a person that has watched human behavior too and have shirked responsibilities for the same reason. Because it's like, well, this ain't gonna do nothing but piss me off. Don't nobody listen. I think he was like, you know what? I think he also he it was both. He was in love. He'd rather be getting piped down, and he was exhausted with trying to manage in a world that keeps changing. And is every vampire who changes and does something different, is are they all wrong? Don't they all do it? They all stray and go their own way, just like regular humans. Like, who am I to manage them? When I can't even manage me, I want to just manage me and my what I want. It sounds like it sucks.
Hell yeah.
Um, well stated. I don't know that I would use the word lazy as much as I would say over it. You know, just a pretty much a culmination of what you all have been saying. He was over it. I'm not gonna do him and call him lazy. You know, Armand is not my favorite, although I'm growing to love him. Wouldn't call him lazy. Definitely in love, so a little bit jaded at times, but certainly not lazy.
All right. Next question. So suspicious. Armand asks Rashid if he and Daniel talked to anyone else while they were at the restaurant. Rashid said just the chef. The first time I watched this, I was confused by Armand's questions and accusations, but then later it hit me. Question. This goes to Brittany first. Was Armand displaying for Daniel the limits to his power?
So I'm not sure about that, because what I noticed was that after Daniel asked a specific question, I don't remember what that question was, but Daniel had asked a question. And at that moment, something piqued Armand's interest. And he was like, wait a minute. Something's going on. Did you go talk to somebody else? What's happening here right now? Because I think you've been talking to people. So I wasn't sure if he could smell them on him or if he like could hear, like could see Daniel's thoughts, because Daniel can't hide his thoughts. So I wasn't sure what happened exactly, but Armand has a sense that something is not right.
Berriman.
I agree with Brittany. I think that, let's be honest, he already knows. He just really wants to know, what's your end game, Daniel? What do you want? Why are you here? But I understand why you're going there. That's where we send you to eat. But why are you why are you even putting yourself at risk if you know I said I'm gonna kill you? Like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, what's your game? And then you're gonna sit in my face and lie. I can read and control mine. I can get in your head from long distances. Like,
That's
what are
right.
you doing? He doesn't even rest the same way Louis does. He can be out in the daytime.
Oh
So
yeah.
what are you talking about? How do you even know he wasn't there, lurking somewhere?
Oh,
Yes.
Well, other
Definitely.
than the fact that he and Louis were talking.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Just watching Santiago and what he was able to do, and yes, I am going back there. This is Armand. So I don't think it was a display of limitations as much as it was like a chin check, or just to kind of see if your feathers are gonna get ruffled simply by even asking the question. Were you left alone at any point by Rashid? Just to get a reaction. I am certain that Armand knows what's up.
Okay. All right.
I
All right.
wonder if he told Louis.
For what?
Okay. All right. Oh yeah. Madeline, Claudia's dressmaker, was attacked by local Parisians as another local businessman looked on without involving himself. Like a white knight, Claudia saved her by killing the trio, drinking the blood of one as Madeline looks on. Question: how did Claudia think she could get away with not killing Madeline?
Oh, Claudia is in love. She is heavily in love with Madeline. So after she does this grand gesture by killing these thugs, I'm gonna call them, she decides like, hey, we go together. Um, so
Like
since I
tea?
revealed myself to you, we go together, and it's me and you, baby. How you want this to go down? I got an idea. I know somebody who could do it for you, and so it's gonna be weird at first, but we're gonna be good, and we're gonna live out our days. So seriously, Claudia saw her opening. I'm tired of being the plus one, the baby. I want someone as well. So that was in essence her her door open, her golden ticket to having someone for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Bear of men.
Accepts her as she is, by the way.
I think Claudia really moved in a protective way. I don't think that she just knew it was gonna fall into some love stuff on the other person's behalf. That's just like the risk you run. But she knew she felt something enough to protect her. She she hurt some people. You know what I mean? And devoured the other. And she told her, she was like, I can get rid of the bodies.
I gotta clean up.
I got to help, but you gotta act right now.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Brittany.
If you don't chill out, I might have to eat your ass too. You know what I'm talking about?
I'll get this little frame twisted. I am still hungry.
That's right. So I
I
think she was able to not eat Madeline because, like Elia and Berriman were saying, that one, she loves her, and two, she acted right. She didn't do anything. She was still, she was chill. The only thing she did was say, hey, she was a little nervous and hesitant at first. Like, you're a vampire, right? Like, that's what you are, right? Like, you're eating blood. You're sucking blood right now. what's going on? And she's like, yes, I am a vampire. And then I like the way Madeline reacted. Madeline just sat back. She was like, okay. She chilled and was like, this is what's about to happen. All right, let's go. Thank you for saving me. Let's roll with this.
Claudia, we're gonna talk about it later.
Right.
So, so I think Claudia was able to, at least in her mind, justify not killing Madeline, because she thought that she could convince Louis to convince Armand to change her. I think she had that much within herself to say, yeah, I have that much control still left in Louis to get Louis to do that. And yeah, and we'll move on to the next one. Oh yeah, Louis enters the Théâtre de Vampires looking for Armand, talking about art, planes, and flying. Then orders Armand to take off his clothes, face down in the coffin, and read the play to him while he fucks him. Armand accepts the offer. Question: why did Louis decide to show his affection so publicly when in the past he had been so seclusive about his lovemaking?
Louis was gonna want something. It's something Louis was gonna want something eventually, but at this point, to me, Louis is continuing to develop as a character. So he he always had edge. Let me be very clear, but he's becoming more and more aggressive and dominant as the episodes go along. So I don't know. To me, he's coming into his own as that dominant, just kind of top person or vampire anyway. So I don't know. I don't know.
Brittany?
I think that Louis was so enthralled with, you ever had that moment where you come and you tell the person that you love, let me tell you what I did today. I'm so excited. This and this and this happened. And then this and this and this and this. And these are my dreams and aspirations. And he's so caught up in the moment and he's so excited. And he was like, you know what? Let's fuck. That's what I think happened in that moment.
Barrowman?
I think he wanted to stick it to the coven.
Explain.
He up there blowing Armand back out. Everybody can hear it. He walk in all chipper on his art type shit, as he usually do, with his fake Chicago accent. You know. And what y'all gonna do about it? While I go upstairs and I blow Maitre blackout and leave and do whatever I please after I'm done. Because you saw how everybody else was looking like.
And that's why they can't stand Louis. You just do whatever you want to do, huh?
I think he was just sticking it to him, letting them know. And I do. And I'm going to continue to. Which I think only which was exactly why Santiago felt it absolutely necessary. Because I feel like Santiago must have had a thing for Maitre at one point.
Well, even they had sex in the past.
See? So I think he just that alone is like, you didn't let me do none of this shit. You ain't let nobody in the coven play these kind of games before you met this guy.
Santiago do be kind of loose lip though. He do get by with his little quips, but definitely not what Louis is doing. Absolutely not. I agree.
But guess what? Even Santiago got a humbling from Louis' ass. And you know what Santiago sat there and did? Waited to see if Armand was going to do anything. And what Armand say? Sit down, guys. Because he liked what Louis did.
Pseudo chastising him.
Because Santiago do think he runs shit. And at that moment, he didn't. So, of course, he let his boyfriend jerk him around a bit. Exactly.
Okay. All right. So in the next scene, Madeline reads one of Claudia's diaries. In this one scene, there are two examples of how Claudia has been reckless. Was her faith in Louis doing? Y'all, I can't see. Was her faith in Louis doing what she wanted and thereby getting Armand to do what she wanted? So sure, that's the wrong question. Sorry about that. When Louis asked Claudia if their relationship were romantic, They both answered no, but Madeline added not yet. I have two questions. Number one, what's going through Louis's mind when he hears this?
That there's the potential for Claudia to finally have her plus one and leave him alone about him and his plus ones he's had in his past.
Okay, all right. And Bear of Men, question number two. How does this compare and contrast to what Santiago asked Armand, to when Santiago asked Armand a similar question?
It's the same. Like, I think that, yeah, I think he wants her to experience what he, or like a relationship, like you've never gotten a chance to see how love controls you, or how love leaves you in doubt or blinds you or mystifies you. I think that, of course, she responded the same way because she's a product of Louis. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't know what's going on here or how far it's gonna go. She just knows she wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same though. It's like it's the same.
Oh yeah.
So the difference for me is with Madeline and Claudia, they both said no. With Louis and Armand, Armand was like yes, Louis was like no. So so that was kind of embarrassing for Armand, to be kind of sticking his dick out there, and Louis is just like, oh no, we just kicking it. But at least in this situation, Claudia and Madeline know enough to say, hey, no, this is not romantic. But I love how Madeline added a layer, not yet. So I thought that was really, really sweet because, of course, Claudia had been feeling her, but it was kind of never discussed. It was kind of like that cat and mouse thing. I'm going to come watch your play. I'm going to tease you a little bit, but nothing ever popped off. And so I love that she added that extra layer by saying not yet. And I'm like, go, Claudia. Good for you, girl.
All right. Later, when Louis is trying to convince Armand to turn Madeline, he asked Armand to imagine him, meaning Louis, without the burden of Claudia. Question: who would Louis be without Claudia in Paris? Let's go to Brittany. Who would Louis be without Claudia in Paris?
So I think that Louis would not be as grounded as he is without her, because I think that she adds a layer of stability for him. Like, that's home. And without her there, it's kind of like he doesn't have that person that's been with him from the start. Not exactly from the start, but from the beginning of his vampire journey. And like his sister, when he lost his sister initially because he became a vampire and he was going through the trials and tribulations of still trying to hold on to the humanity side of it, and he didn't understand that, he still has this bloodlust, and it's kind of hard when you're a baby vampire trying to control it. And so he missed that sister aspect, and that's what Claudia fulfilled for him. So without that, he wouldn't have that home like feeling that he would have with her in Paris.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I 100% agree. I almost forgot about how Louis was with his sister and kind of the whole creation of Claudia in the first place. So thank you for bringing that up. I think Louis is already on a downward spiral to doing some wild ass shit. So without Claudia present, I just foresee it being so much worse. So much worse.
Barrowman.
I think he's romanticizing the fact that he knows that Claudia is a distraction for him because he's always concerned about protecting her, being there for her, not leaving her out. But she isn't left out if she has a companion, if she has someone else to look out for her. Like, don't you want to see what it's like for me not to be worried about anybody but you and your needs? Like, wouldn't that be great? I think that's kind of the direction he was playing in. But I think he was lying. Even though he saw her as a sister, I don't think he ever really wanted to rid himself of her. I think he wanted the relief of her not judging his decisions, though.
Okay. All right. So Claudia says she can feel Louis is stronger and harder. She says she can feel it. Question: was she sensing Louis or her bond with Lestat? If Louis, what are examples of it? Let's go with Brittany first.
So with Louis, I think the example would be face down, ass up. I'm gonna fuck you right now while you read the script. But also how I think Louis is harder because he's finally started to come within himself, and she's seeing that. And also the fact that he made the statement of, Armand, imagine me without her. And so for him to say that would be something she would never imagine him, even if he's saying it just to say it to get Armand to do what he wants. It's still like, wow, you're showing your dominance and you didn't act like this with Lestat. So this is interesting to see you act like this with Armand. You really found yourself in Paris. All right, kudos to you, nigga.
Oh yeah.
Claudia is seeing Louis come from being brain dead essentially, and her puppeteering, being the parent to them both, to him coming in and asserting his authority even over her. Like, hey, she's gonna drink all your blood. It's not gonna be able to stop herself. What is this? What is going on? Just the way he communicates with her, just his entire relationship with Armand. She's sensing all of it. So it's his actions, it's his words, it's all of those things. So she's gotten to see him basically evolve. Not saying that this is the best version of Louis, but essentially he's moping around and she's navigating them across the country to now he calling shots. Okay, and I'm gonna get you to get your little boyfriend to change my girl. So okay, now you back to Daddy Lou.
Barrowman.
I think his strength comes from Armand being Maître. I do. And the fact that he feeds off of him. He learns from him. He doesn't have the same relationship that was insecure like it was with Louis. I mean, with Lestat. He was so incredibly insecure with Lestat because Lestat was selfish. Lestat was like, oh, yeah, go ahead. We both going to be out here doing us. And what happened? He lost his rabbit ass mind. As soon as Louis put them meats on the market, he was tripping. That wasn't fair. How could you blossom and be your best self when you got a narcissist playing games? I love you. I want you to myself, but I want like 5 other people too.
Meats
Like
on
I
the
gotta have
market is
5.
wow.
Huh?
Meats on the market is wow.
He did put his little meat on the market or his big meat. I actually envisioned it as rather large because everybody tripping off of it. You know what I'm saying? But it gotta be everybody tripping. He got the meats. He must be like Safari.
Not
Who,
But
hard.
you talking about Lestat right now?
I don't
No.
know. I'm talking about Louis.
Oh,
The
okay.
way they tripping on Louis, baby.
Well, Lestat said that he had considerable considerables. So
And coming from Lestat, we know that's true.
And all I know is a stat was like, I know I said you could do you. I was lying. You can't do nothing. And Armand ain't even trying to do him. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to just get done in. That's it. That's it. And it's to me, it's just like I think the power he's stepping into is the two different types of relationships you can be in. You can be in a relationship that drains you, that makes you seem like you're weak and drink like just depletes you, or you can be with a person who's loving you right, letting you be yourself, pushing you to grow, and you just lost, even though he think that he got Armand wrapped around his finger, which Armand has to hit him with a nah, but you don't. But you know what I'm saying? My wisdom is older than your wisdom. I'm just not falling for those games. You doing a good job, but no. You know what I'm saying? As far as like changing your girl is what I'm talking about with the you ain't got me that wrapped. I love you though. I love you, but I ain't doing all that. You can frolic around the coven all you want. I ain't making you girl. But I think it's just from the different type of perspectives of how you love.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna go to the next question. I'm gonna go to the next question.
Oh,
All
I
right.
wanted to know what you're about to say now. The way you said that.
No. It's just it's something from the books, and then also something that he said in this particular episode. So, and I'm talking about Armand. Armand basically said, both in the books and in this episode, that he had never made anyone before. And I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. It's just this is more like a caveat, and the caveat is he had never made anyone before, and that was just something that he just would never do. But anyway, so Armand chose not to turn Claudia, not Claudia, but Madeline.
Madeline.
He says he had never made a vampire before. Any thoughts about that, Brittany? Any
He
thoughts
said
about him not making anybody before?
he said that it repulsed him.
Mhm.
And so I was curious as to why would making a vampire repulse him if he's a vampire within himself. So does he hate himself and his nature and what he is? Or is it making something else that is of the dark?
Or
Y'all,
is
I watched it 3 tims. I be thinking now, y'all. I be thinking.
or is it both?
So okay, so I'm only talking about the book, right? I'm only talking about the book. So he had always believed in God. He believes in God. He believes in God, right? And so to him, to make somebody a vampire would be like you're kind of like setting someone up to go to hell, and he doesn't want to do that, right? He doesn't want to do that. Okay, you are a vampire. I had no control over that, and so I need a companion. That's one thing, but to turn somebody into a vampire, that's a completely totally different thing for him. And so that's what's happening for him in his head. All right, next question. Louis was intent on turning Madeline. No amount of naysaying from Armand could change his mind. Why didn't Armand stop Louis right then and there? Let's go to Bearer of Men.
He has always allowed Louis to make choices. Like he could have been killed, Louis. He could have snapped Claudia's neck a long time ago. He could have burned him, put him in those caskets, locked him away for eternity if he wasn't gonna kill him. He just gives him choices. The same way I felt like when he asked him, "Are you asking Mater?" When he asked him when he told him to spare Daniel, he was like, "I'm telling you." And he said his real name. I forgot what it was, Anu or something like Anu's. Is that his name? His real name, Armand?
Oh, in the TV show they call it's Aaron.
Aaron. He was like, "I'm telling Aaron." And he was like, and he let him go, like, "Here you go." I feel like that's why they kind of like on the same level. I say the same thing, Lenora.
This that dick.
Think, well, I think that too, Brittany. And I think that too, Brittany. And I think it's just one of those things like he wants to be chosen. He wants you to choose him. He wants you to choose to follow him. He wants the same way he's choosing, he can brainwash you. He got all this power, but that isn't the real thing. He wants the real thing. He wants at the end of the day to be the choice.
Hell yeah.
He's giving Louis the illusion of all these choices. Meanwhile, Armand then picked it apart, put it back together, and then figured out how he's going to maneuver with whatever choice that you made. Armand is 10 steps ahead.
Self-preservation is key, though. You can love a person. They ain't got to drag you with them.
Yes.
That's right.
Choose what you will, but I'm going to show you. Either way.
So in that same scene, Armand says he can't keep his mind closed anymore. Was Lestat penetrating his thoughts? Let's go to Brittany, since you watched it about 3 times. Was Lestat penetrating his thoughts?
Stop saying penetrating.
I said on purpose.
Was Lestat penetrating Armand's thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was penetrating his thoughts. And he could see what was
Emphasis
going
on the 8.
And he can see what was going on, and he knows where they're at, and he's on his way.
You about to pull up here at the light.
He's at the light, about to pull up on them.
Hell yeah.
I don't even remember the question.
Was Lestat penetrating Armand's thoughts when he said he can't keep his mind closed anymore?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with how we see things unfold at the end. Absolutely. He is all up in them thoughts, among other things.
Merriman?
You have to tell me where he says that.
It was right around the same time that Louis was trying. Well, no, when Armand was trying to convince Louis not to turn Madeline. He later
park?
then said, yeah, they were walking in the park, and he was kind of frantic. He was just like, I can't control, I can't keep my mind closed anymore. Is basically what he said. And so my question is, was it Lestat who was penetrating his thoughts?
I think it's all of them. They're all trying to get in. They're trying to figure out, what are you hiding? What's going on? And I bet you any money he saw him coming, he could feel him coming. He was connected to him too.
To make him?
All right, Naya. Not a baby to save the relationship.
All right. You see, he saved Claudia's with one.
Saw how that ended.
All right. So next question. Armand tells Louis he is angry for stealing his memories. Louis agrees. Armand says he has no right to because he, meaning Louis, asked him to do it. Armand says the greatest shame in his life was not San Francisco, but what comes later. Obviously, what happens in this episode. He says he's been trying to make up for it ever since, and Louis has forgiven him for it. Question. Has Louis truly forgiven him for it? Let's go to Elliot.
Hell no. He has not forgiven him. No, he hasn't forgiven him because here we go. Classic damaged Louis. Passive aggressive. I'm going to go along to get along, pretend like everything's cool. And whenever you put the butter on the toast the wrong way, I'm turning up on your ass because I'm mad about the toast, but not really. It's because of that shit you pulled back in San Francisco and the shit you pulled in Paris. That's what I'm really mad about. So no, he hasn't forgiven him. Not at all.
Bear of men.
I'm just saying, forever's a long time, and you killed my rank. I really don't know how long it's gonna take me to get over that. Or you knew it was coming.
So I'm with you, Naya. That's exactly what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was thinking. But at the same time,
you knew it was coming. You never even warned me. You didn't tell me shit. And I'm supposed to just let that go? All right. No, you let it go. I'm going to torture your ass. You want to be with me? All right. You're going to be with me in all my angst. Until I get over it.
Brittany, thoughts?
So I think that Louis does not forgive Armand, and that it's really hard for him to deal with being in another relationship with somebody who's done something unforgivable. And so it just kind of further breaks him down even more emotionally. So he has this baggage in relationships where I think he likes the toxicity of it, but at the same time, it's something that, how there are some people who just like to complain. He just seems like one of those people who just likes to complain, and Armand has given him something to complain about for forever.
That would be it, though. That would be something to complain. I'm gonna complain forever on this one. I ain't gonna let it go.
In Louis' defense, and I don't defend him off.
Oh, we know.
You gonna take this L every time I say a letter. You lied to me. You saw it coming, and you ain't say nothing. I get to hurt you when I feel like it. I'm just saying.
That's right. He knew what they were planning and didn't do shit. Didn't even warn him. Let them come. Because what if they never even came back for coffee or the dinner they had? What if they would have never came back? The only way they would have known that they were there is if Armand said something. So Armand tempted them off that they coming back.
Then you just
Or
gonna
let
go
his presence be
lean
fucking
through the
known.
threshold, like you going for some fresh air.
Mm.
All right. So later, when Louis, Armand, Claudia, and Madeline were dining, Louis asked Madeline if Claudia was the replacement for her sister. In the movie, and I believe the book as well, Madeline grieved the loss of her daughter. But besides that, it struck me. Lestat made Louis to basically replace Nikki. Claudia was losing Louis and needed Madeline to replace him. Is this some generational curse for vampires? Let's go to Elia first.
When you weave it all together like that, it absolutely seems like it is. However, it could simply just be happenstance. Could absolutely just be happenstance.
Very
Lenora, what else you got to do if you gonna be alive for the rest of your life? You just gonna keep living, and you just gonna keep getting more and more toxic. If you was already toxic, you ain't got nothing to do but perfect it, I think.
It's
But
like
once
what I'm sorry. It's like what Madeline said. Okay, it's just gonna make me more of what I already am. So if he was toxic before as a human, as a vampire, okay, you the best that toxic has to offer.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
More faster at it.
I do think they're doomed to always lose someone and be looking for them.
All right. This is my last question before I ask you all
Hold on, Lenora.
your thoughts. All right. So they gave Armand a choice and he chose himself, or at least it seems that way. Santiago and his crew capture the trio. They are to stand trial with Lestat present.
Mm. French
Brittany?
what?
Baby,
Juicy.
Brittany?
I almost died.
What's the question?
No question. Just,
Thoughts.
yeah.
I am so excited to see Lestat. Y'all, he was sitting there smoking his cig. It was the way they had the intimate lighting coming down, the cinematography on that, where you're looking at the mirror, but you're also looking at Lestat. And it's just classical Lestat. It was so just perfect. I loved every moment of it. Louis in the restaurant was going, artifacts of our creation, but stopped Maddie and she could feel him. Okay, so
No,
it was
please keep going. Keep going.
it was just everything. I was just like, look at his chest, look at his hair flowing. He had the Beyonce wind going as he just sitting there waiting. He got 10 minutes left before he go on stage. He said, let me finish this cigarette before I see my ex-bae. Bitch. Like that's what he tried to kill me and watch me come back for you.
I
Go
I
ahead.
feel like he was casting those thoughts onto him. He'd been meddling in his head the whole time, making him think he was dead. I felt like you some of my French white. You you you've been here all along. And I thought about how Lestat and Santiago are clearly cut from the same kind of cloth of sinister being.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you brought him all the way up here to do this, genius. And I can't wait to see it.
Ooh, I
So
can't
you
wait.
so you think Santiago brought Lestat up to do that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. But how did he
Interesting.
communicate with him? That's what I was trying to figure out the whole time. How did they find Lestat? Because the lawyer didn't tell them how he communicates.
Okay, so there's gonna be some difference between the books and this TV show, right? So the only
Right.
thing that I can do is I can basically tell you about the book. The book basically had it to where first off, Lestat was just roaming, right? He was compelled to go there, right? He was compelled to go there, but no one called for him. He was compelled to go. My thoughts at the time when I was reading it, it was just he wanted to see Louis. He just wanted to see him, right? Just to know that he was okay. He didn't want to do nothing to him. He just wanted to know that he was okay. Um, but according to the books, when he did show up, he wasn't 100% Lestat. He didn't have all of his powers. All right. So Naya says, Louis was bitter and was throwing shade at Madeline. He's jealous of Claudia because she found the love of her life while he lost his. That's why he said he didn't care if she left.
Mm-mm.
I could see that.
So, but there's something to be said, right, about vampires, at least in Anne Rice's uh, universe of it. Vampires typically don't stay with their companions for very, very long, and of course, very long is
50 years.
yeah. So let's let's just think about that. So Lenore says Lestat's going to get Louis just for even thinking about leaving him, and for Armand.
The audacity of it all. The
Lenore, I
audacity.
think Lestat made his grand entrance to kill Claudia.
Yeah, he can't stand his. He
Can't
can't
stand
stand.
that girl. He only made her for Louis, and he don't care how it's gonna hurt Louis because he ended up hurt in the long run.
Yes.
It was he wasn't supposed to make her no damn way, so he gonna unmake that mistake real quick.
Yeah.
Did y'all clock whenever Armand got mad at Claudia and called her Claudia de Leoncourt?
Yup.
Like, oh, he mad, man.
Yup.
like
And
like
her
no,
whole
that
thinking
was the
that,
worst insult anybody could ever give, and Louis was like, "No."
don't you bring that shit up? Don't you do that no more. I was like, don't you be calling her daddy name.
Okay. Ooh, I can't wait for the next episode.
Me either.
And the next episode is the last episode, y'all.
Oh
No.
shit! I didn't know that.
It was
They
too
just do
slow.
7. They just do 7 episodes.
The number of
Yeah.
completion. There you go. 7.
Hey.
That's it.
Hey.
They were all for that.
I don't want no more Mayfair witches. Is that supposed to be a season 2?
Why you said it like they put extra black eyed peas on your plate? I don't want no more Mayfair wishes. I'ma throw them up.
I don't want no more. They AMC part. They gotta have something else.
Lenore, you right. I ain't signed up to be nobody pappy now.
And Lestat did not, and he showed every bit of that.
Oh, we get 8 episodes this season? Okay.
Oh, yay!
Okay.
Even better.
Okay. That's a good thing.
I
Yo,
just feel like they drawing it out a little bit.
you think
It's
well,
good though. It's good though.
I'm
It
I'm
is, but
I'm even
damn.
more excited to know that we have 2 more episodes left. If that is indeed the case, I'm more excited now because you know that the season finale is going to be like a cliffhanger for the next season. So I'm here for it because you kind of know what's going to happen next episode, right?
Yeah.
I know, and I'm so trying to get my emotions ready to lose Claudia. I love her.
Well, you lost her from season 1. Got a new one in season 2.
I know, but she doing her thing, ain't she?
She really
Yeah,
is. I
she's doing
forgot.
You know, you forget.
I
Yeah.
forgot what the original actors looked like. It just so happened I looked at season 1 and I was like, oh, I was confused for a second. Like, who is? That's right.
No, you didn't.
No, because she's doing such a good job.
She's
She's doing
phenomenal.
really good.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Not
Yeah, he
stepmother,
an
huh?
evil stepmother. Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
old mean ass. I was like, she was a child at first. You ain't had to do it like you did in the first season. He just treated her little life.
He did not sign up for that.
I know, but damn, he knew her body and mind was young at one point. He didn't give a damn.
He ain't give a fuck.
At
He was
all.
like, come on, she's still just a kid right now, sir. Give her a couple years before you be harsh. Oh yeah, Naya. That's what I said. Oh yeah, Naya.
I think he was showing his dominance not just to Armand, but yes to the coven as well. They wanted to kill him from the jump.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Disrespectful. Santiago want his lick back anyway. You gonna
Oh,
run down
right.
there with your fake ass Chicago accent and grab me by my tongue and not in a good way? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show
What's a
you.
good way? What's a good way?
I'm gonna tell you later.
There's another way to grip a hand. Would
I
you
know
like to
these
talk about
things. Look, hey, as an artiste, if you fall asleep during my performance of any kind, let me be clear, I'm gonna be very tight too.
Well, okay, yes, but he did say let's go to the coffin. So,
he did?
but they could all hear, right? Everybody could hear.
Mop,
Assuming.
mop, 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 mop.
Mhm.
All you could do is chuckle, huh, Jermaine?
You know what? There's something to be said when you know that people are watching you. Have y'all ever? Well, I'm not gonna ask y'all, but on occasion, I've had people watch, and it was just something kind of freeing about that. You know,
Okay.
Because if no
I
one
every
saw it,
time.
then it didn't happen, right? So people have to see.
what'd you say?
If no one saw it, then it didn't happen. So people have to see.
I
I
like the
get
way
it.
you clean things up. I love the way that you clean things up. You just the wordsmith in you.
Oh, I see what you're saying there, Anaya.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
probably why he didn't know he was there.
You know what I wonder though? I also wonder whether or not Lestat was blocking himself from Louis. Like in other words, like making certain that Louis could not sense him.
Of course.
The epitome of a bad breakup.
Man, yeah, let my throat get slit. I don't want
Okay,
nothing.
okay. So Lenore. Well, I don't know if Lenore is a woman or a man. I had a frat brother called named Lenore, so I don't know if Lenore is female or male. But y'all know that 93% of the people who watch us are female.
Oh, yay.
Thanks for keeping us going, y'all.
90% of the time I'm female too. And 10% I just don't know. I'm just playing. 100%.
We have stars upon ours.
I'm a lady. Are you Lady Lenora?
I didn't want to say lady because some people get offended, so I said woman. So yes, Lenore, you are a lady. Mm.
Oh yeah, definitely. I need his participation.
So you didn't buy what she said? She didn't want any of Lestat's blood.
I think he traumatized her enough to where that could be true.
I both can be true. Plus, she knows how much stronger and older Armand
Armand
was.
is. Yeah.
And they don't know that he drank Akasha's blood and somebody else. It was somebody else someone else's blood that he drank, meaning Lestat. Y'all, by the way, Lenore just went on ahead and subscribed to us. So thank you,
Yay!
Lenore, for
Thanks.
subscribing.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
lady.
Lenora. Thank
Thanks,
you.
lady.
Lady Lenora.
Yo, is there anything else that we didn't cover that we wanted to talk about?
How do you think he's gonna do it? How do you think they're gonna kill him?
Kill who?
Them. Remember in the movie, they put them in a chamber and let them die by sun.
Sure did. So
What are
you're
they
asking
do?
if they're gonna hold true to that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if they're gonna do it on the stage since they set the scene up like instead of them killing humans on stage, this time a vampire trial that they think is a stage play.
I think they're gonna set him on fire.
And with because I thought, wait, this is the first time they're doing a matinee, right? So are
Correct.
they just gonna do it with the sunlight?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh, that very interesting. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Andy went there. Hurt
So
like
do
he.
y'all think the whole episode next week is gonna be about them being on stage, or you think it's gonna be after too?
After
What I'm
After
hoping that
Claudia
they're
died.
going to kind of preface season 3. Yeah, was that mine that did
yeah.
that?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I'm hoping what they're going to do is they're going to preface what's going to happen in season 3, kind of like letting us know this is how things are going to change as a result of everything. I'm hoping that we're gonna start to get into Lestat's story, so we're going to see things from Lestat's point of view. So we're still,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm
That would
hoping.
be nice.
Because in the vampire Lestat, he kind of takes us back from, like, he tells us about his childhood, he tells us about Louis, he tells us about Claudia, he tells us about Nikki. A significant part of the season is about Nikki, so I'm hoping that's what we're going to see in season 3. I agree with you, Lenore.
I agree.
I think it's a mixture of both, but she knows that Armand despises her. She wanted to check how strong his moral compass was. Unfortunately for her, that was his last straw.
I'm
Mm.
sure Claudia is about sick of these men that Louis picked hating her.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
She
Nicole
man, woman haters.
Nicole says she's excited Lestat is back.
Yes,
Listen,
me too.
I'm so glad they brought the defibrillator out for this show. Life can begin now.
It ain't Mayfair, baby. It ain't Mayfair.
No,
Mm-mm.
oh
Don't do
no.
First
that.
of all,
Y'all let us know. Did y'all watch Mayfair? Do y'all want us to cover Mayfair when it comes? Y'all let us know.
I'm gonna cover my face.
could you guys tell us other things you would like us to cover so we can keep you guys entertained?
Will rather cover the Baton Rouge news. I'm mm,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel you, Naya.
That was a very passionate scene when they turned Madeline though. That was a very passionate, loving scene. To say that it was so much blood and gore.
Did y'all agree?
Y'all didn't think it was loving and passionate?
It might be the man in me, but I was just like, oh, okay.
Well, when she was looking at the light, I was like, "Oh, that's what's up."
I thought they were trying to make it pretty, but I didn't think it was romantic.
Yeah,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Eh,
it was lackluster for y'all.
those are pretty words for
Tell you what,
it sounds so beautiful, lackluster. Knowing I know what it means, but it was okay. Could have had a V8. It's
oh
okay.
really, Naya? Hmm. I feel you. I didn't even think about all that.
So Lenora says no to Mayfair.
Don't do it. Let me tell you, you will
Ins-
never get that time back. Don't do it.
It was
Insomnia Addict says no.
Oh, it don't. It looks bland. It tastes bland. It is bland. You just go chew on a piece of um wide rule notebook paper. You'll be more
it wasn't
satisfied.
witchy.
It's more satiated
It
than
wasn't witchy
watching
enough.
Mayfair.
It wasn't witchy enough.
It just wasn't witchy enough. With all the things you could do at witches, it just didn't do it.
It was like a bad Lifetime show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't insult Lifetime that way.
Oh,
Ah!
And so I talk about it personally so bad. So when we go and watch it, it may not be as bad as much as I talk about it.
it's
So you may
bad.
be able to stomach it, but it's.
I watched it a second time, and I was more horrified the second time than the first time.
I
So
got more witchiness out of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show that came out when I was a kid, not the remake, because that Sabrina is really good. But
Nicole hopes that they learn from our feedback. Naya says her transformation felt like a threesome. That could be a good thing, though, Naya. I don't know.
But
Threesome.
see, if I was gonna get down on a threesome, that didn't make me want to.
Oh, you've never been?
No, I'm a prude. I talk a lot of shit, but I don't do that.
I come across as approved, but
I know. When you just said you were watched, I was like, I have to call him on the side.
Let's
I
talk.
need details. What made your mind go there? You're so excited. I'm so not.
so Brittany, so Naya says it felt like a threesome. What are your thoughts?
It did, but I've never had one. But what I think of a threesome would be like, it would be like that.
Oh, then don't do it. That seemed boring. And for me, it was like a threesome in that 3 people were present. That is it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I like Madeline, but I've got to look at her with a little bit of side eye because Claudia
I'm
still
so
looks
glad
like
somebody
the
said
fact
it.
that she's looking at her that way.
Oh,
She was looking a little mature when she changed that hair to that curly hair.
Lenora, I've been trying not to be the one to cast that ball of fire into the pit of lustiness. I was like, but if she's supposed to still look like a girl who barely got breasts, what you looking at? What is you looking at?
that is very true.
Well, yeah, I think the book would have made, like, had they kept her the same character as the book, it would have been even worse because because you're thinking about your daughter as your this is too much. It's too much. It's too much. So Naya says Claudia was supposed to be his redemption, and once he figured out that she wasn't living up to what he thought she was, he checked out. He asks if he really meant that, and he never responded.
He did mean it. He meant to hurt Claudia's listening ears too. Because she's so ready to leave him. He was like,
So Lenore says, I like Madeline, but I've got to look at her with a little bit of. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I never saw Mayfair Witches, but I do want to check it out though. You should when you want to go to sleep late at night. You should turn that on.
Or just drink it with a cup of coffee.
You'll be able to count the tiles on your floor.
Okay, Lenore. Okay, I'm with you. Lestat, Louis, and Armand.
I'd like to see it.
I'd like to see it.
Is this going to be available on Pornhub? Personal request. That one I'd pay for.
Nicole agrees. He meant it.
He meant that shit.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, you gotta understand, Madeline done been through some things. She done seen some things. I don't think there's any way for her not to be a weirdo.
Done it all. Done it all.
Yeah, she is a little bit of a weirdo.
Because of how she was eating the fruit?
It was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a monster, but I eat this because I'm a human. So what am I gonna eat when I'm a vampire? Yeah, will I enjoy it? It was just very weird.
Well, she wasn't asking herself these questions. Armand messy ass was. And so
I've only ever seen people eat grapefruit with a spoon.
Me too.
I don't know why I thought that was an apple.
It was an apple.
Oh, okay.
So when she was eating it with a spoon, I was like, oh.
Strange.
Swirling it like it was ice cream.
Yeah. You won't be bothered with biting into it, huh?
Now, Lenore, why do you say that, Lenore? Why do you say that? I'm gonna need you to spell that out for us. Why do you say that? And Naya says, add Daniel to the threesome. So who would be part of the threesome, Naya? It would be Daniel, Louis, and Armand, or Daniel, Louis, and Lestat?
The minute you reach 4, Naya, it's an orgy.
Don't nobody want to see old Daniel in no threesome.
You don't want to see them old
maybe young Daniel, not
old
old
gray
Daniel,
balls,
not in that one.
But you
They
know,
got a saga,
when they turn old, they drop.
them dropping hanging balls.
But at least they shake.
Maybe back in the day, Daniel. Not these Daniel. Not Parkinson's Daniel.
Y'all going to hell.
Okay.
Sleepy. Okay, this is what you get.
That might add a little something though. You know, you start shaking.
He might just add a little vibration to that.
Add to the friction. A little friction and nonfiction.
I'm about to play with y'all.
Yeah.
Well, mine is
He likes some twinks, huh? He likes some twinks.
Oh, mine is beautiful.
Y'all better stop playing with Armand. What was
Still
he?
ain't
18 or 19 when he got made?
Ooh, Naya says she also wants to see Daniel. Ooh.
Naya, we need to talk, girl.
We got some fetishes going on up there.
Naya, let's
But you know what? To be fair, I do still have this thing for Sean Connery at 115. I would still want to see it. So you know what? I guess I shouldn't judge.
Sean Connery is sexy as fuck.
Oh, he's dead, y'all.
I thought so too. I wasn't gonna say
Sean
that.
He is?
I thought so. Maybe he's not.
Oh no.
So Lenora says he was unhappy with Lestat, even though Lestat gave him everything. Unhappy with Armand, calling him the gremlin or the good nurse. Louis is just hopelessly depressed.
Yes, I agree, Lenore. That's why he's starting to aggravate me as much as I love his ass. It's like, well, you just don't want to be happy.
Check this out. Naya says Daniel was so nervous and flustered with Louis, said he could still have sex with Armand was out of the house. When Armand was out of the house. Okay. They still got it. Oh, Lenore clarifies.
Okay. That I would be okay with that.
Well, we might just see that in the next season.
Because let's be clear, young Daniel was hiding ready like Little Caesar's pizza.
When
took that shirt off, like, well, you want me to lie down?
Oh,
John, yeah, in 2020, I saw. Well, I'm gonna go with Phil Jackson then. Oh yes.
I don't think I got no old zaddies. I want to throw it on.
Santiago is sexy.
Santiago has that.
He is spicy, Nicole.
That ass.
I said he's oldish. I don't consider him old. I just think he's great, prematurely great. That's just what I think.
You know what?
Think about my age.
He got that prick thing working for him. Okay.
Well, Naya, go on ahead and tell us what you know. I was trying my best not to say it, but Naya, tell us what you know.
Pow, 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 pow. For us non-readers.
Because Naya, I think this is like the third episode straight where you've been dropping nuggets. So just go on ahead and tell us. So we're not totally, shocked when we see something season 3. Until then, what do y'all think is going to happen in the next couple episodes?
Somebody about to be heartbroken.
Yes.
Louis.
Straight up death.
Armand gonna be heartbroken because Louis ain't gonna fool with his ass for a little while. He might not even stay there. He might have had to chase him from country to country to come on back home.
I want to know what's going to happen with the Telemascus.
They're getting a show.
Oh, they are?
Hey, you didn't know that? Yeah.
AMC is picking it up as well.
What'd you say?
AMC is picking it up, the whole universe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's been getting them ratings. They better.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. Now that they don't have wasn't Walking Dead anymore, right?
Yeah, yeah. Y'all, did y'all know that seasons 2 ratings for Interview with a Vampire has dropped? It has. It has. And seasons 1 ratings of Interview were lower than Mayfair's.
I remember me still feeling like that's stupid. I don't know how. I don't know
Please
how that's
no.
possible.
People need to watch this show.
I think it's because there's a whole lot of gay sex in it, and you know how people feel about that.
Yeah, everybody isn't open minded.
I think we're gonna find out that Armand still hasn't been truthful about everything
Oh
he found
yes.
in Paris.
I believe he's a part of the plot.
Come on, Naya. Tell me what's gonna happen to Daniel. I'm waiting on Naya.
To what extent, Lenore? To what
Hmm.
extent? Like just show past episodes, or
Put season 3 out at one time.
because
4 episodes at a time, like they did us with Bridgerton, which
because
is great.
Ooh,
Because-
don't say it. I haven't watched it yet.
if they put it on Netflix, if they put this show on Netflix, this show is about to really blow up.
Yeah. Agreed. 100%.
Because it's so good.
Speaking of Bridgerton, do y'all want us to cover Bridgerton? Bridgerton.
Oh, y'all not ready for this British accent that I got.
Oh, love, I can't wait to.
Governor.
It's absolutely extraordinary.
Sweetheart,
Hello.
Darling.
all night.
I'll bring tea and crumpets on the show live.
I've been waiting all night to use it.
All right. Not hearing from anyone. If there's nothing else that you all want to talk
Wait, what happened with Naya and Daniel?
Read the book, Brittany.
Okay. That'll be good for American audiences, though.
Yeah,
Hopefully
there's a
Netflix
lot of
will.
people who have heard about it.
Yeah.
And happy Juneteenth, guys.
Yes.
Happy
Happy
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth.
I froze.
How many times have I frozen?
I can't even tell if I froze.
You're not frozen, Eric.
Maddie says Netflix ruins everything they touch.
Oh,
damn.
well,
I like your opinions.
I like Naya.
Now you didn't read the book. I don't know. For some reason, I thought you had read the book.
Either, Naya. I don't want to ruin the show. I'm one of those people, if I read things, I start getting angry that it doesn't follow what I read.
Actually, I like it. I like because I don't like to know what's gonna happen. So I like when they make changes because it makes it unpredictable. Thank you for mentioning that, Lenora, because
I do. I watched them both. And I've been begging for the dragon. They don't listen to me, Lenora.
What?
she's been begging for the dragon.
Not the dragon. You said.
Literally your words, and I've been begging for the dragon.
I'm gonna puff the magic dragon, love.
So, Lenore, we have just started covering House of the Dragon. We're actually doing it with another podcaster, MCU's The Bleeding Edge. So we went live. When was that? Night before last, I believe it was. As soon as I get the footage from that, we're gonna stream it on our channel. But we are also going live on next Monday to cover episode 2. So you will have both episodes 1 and 2 covered by us, but it's us and another channel. We're doing it together. Okay. In terms of power, y'all, what do y'all want to do? We'll talk about it offline. But
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Thank you for your suggestions, Lenora.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Thank you for
Oh my
Love it.
Thank you for finding us. Big heart, big heart.
God.
All
Brittany,
right,
you're
y'all.
still frozen.
Yep.
My little Elsa and Anna.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so very much for joining us. Thank you for it was like at one point, like with all the numbers, like almost 30 people. You know, at different times. So thank you all so very much for joining us. We'll be back next week to cover episode 7, which I'm finding out will not be the season finale. So you got us for 2 more weeks to cover Interview with the Vampire. I love it. I don't know if we're gonna cover Mayfair Witches, but we will definitely cover the Talamaster.
I won't be here.
I'll give it a view once or twice to see if anything's better, and I'll let y'all know.
Okay.
Sure, no one will care, but I won't come.
So we might cover it maybe 2 weeks afterwards.
I'll be in the comments talking trash, but I won't be here.
It might be better. It might be better. Hopefully, those 2 women not over it like they were this past year. Thanks for the live.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've enjoyed your comments.
Yes, it made it so much more exciting. I got stumbled up with everything. Like, wait, what they said?
All right, y'all. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.